हेलो गाइस, वेलकम। आप सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है हमारी आज की स्ट्रीम में। सो वी आर गोइंग टू लर्न लूप्स एंड हाउ कैन वी सॉल्व वेरियस क्वेश्चंस यूजिंग लूप्स। सो हाउ आर यू ऑल? कैसे हो आप सब लोग? एंड वी हैव one assignment that was given in the previous class. So how many of you did? How many of you were able to do all the questions? किसके सारे questions हो चुके हैं? बताओ सब, किस किस के सारे क्वेश्चंस हो गए हैं? RD says me. All right, that is very great, RD. If you have done all the questions, nice. 900. Okay, so your rank is 4. So there are some constraints that if you do a particular question, so उसमें time कितना आपने consume किया, दूसरे ने कितना consume किया, so उसके basis पे होता है. nahi Madhur, it has been corrected, so you can go and try it out now. So it is going to work absolutely fine now. तो चलो आज सार्थक, गुड इवनिंग सार्थक. ओके, सो दैट इज ग्रेट. जिन्होंने सारे क्वेश्चंस कर लिए हैं, वी विल बी डूइंग मोर ऑफ दीज क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है, तो चलो आज की प्रॉब्लम हम आज की क्लास हम स्टार्ट करते हैं. लेट्स सी व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स आर देयर. ठीक है, तो चलो आई शेयर माई स्क्रीन एंड विल स्टार्ट. देखो, आज जो हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं, सो द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज देयर विच इज कॉल्ड एज लूप्स. Be it any language that you are going to learn from now onwards. You might move towards some advanced languages like Python, जिसके अंदर हम machine learning, data science ये वाली चीजें कर रहे होते हैं. It might be Java if you'll go towards Java. It might be JavaScript if you'll be interested in web development. It might be Kotlin if you'll be interested in app development. So there are various languages that you might learn moving ahead in your career. So ठीक है, तो अब होगा क्या कि उसमें लूप्स यूज हो रहे होते हैं. सो जो हमारी लूप्स वाली चीज है ना, ये सबके अंदर कॉमन रहती है, ये चेंज नहीं होती. सो यू डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट ये चीज कैसे चलती है. इट्स सिंपल. सो सबसे पहले जो हम लूप देखने जा रहे हैं, वो वाला हम लूप देखेंगे, वाइल लूप. ठीक है, तो हमने जो अपना फ्लो चार्ट वाली चीज पढ़ी थी, इफ यूल रिमेंबर, वी क्रिएटेड अ लूप इन दैट. So how the loop was created in it? We did something like this. We initialized a counter. Then we did condition check. And after that particular thing, if the condition, अगर हमारी condition true होती है, तो हम एक टास्क करते थे, और अगर वो टास्क हमने पूरा कर लिया, तो हम कंडीशन को अपडेट कर देते थे. राइट, इसी तरह से ये चीजें चलती थी. So it's very difficult. So all right, so I'll continue in English. Some of you say Hindi, some of you say English. So मतलब दुविधा में डाल देते हो. So it's not a good thing, like, है ना? So all right, let's see how it is going to work. See, the first thing is called as initialization, condition check, and updation. These are the three main components which are available inside a loop. All right, so let us see how we can implement this particular loop using a while loop. So this thing that we studied, or that we did in flowchart, this was the logic behind creating a loop. Now what we need to do, we need to implement the same logic in our programming language. So in programming language, we cannot create a flowchart. So what we need a syntax through which we can do the same task again and again. So you must know about this thing. What we did over here, we created a counter. The value of counter started from 1. So we initialized a counter. So I'm writing counter in a short form C. The next thing what we did, we checked for the condition, whether C is less than equals to n, or in our case, we did it till 10, whether C is less than equals to 10. So we can do it in both the ways. If this condition is true, so we will do our task, whatever the task might be. And in the updation condition, we are going to write C is equals to C plus 1. We updated the value of C by 1, right? So नहीं, रशियन जर्मन तो नहीं कर सकते, तो इतना भी मतलब स्कोप नहीं है. ठीक है, तो if this thing is, if this condition fails, then we simply exit this loop. So see how we can implement this while loop, how we can implement this logic using while loop. Right. So now what is going to happen? See, we are going to initialize our bucket of counter C with the value 1. So this thing is called as initialization. We have already seen when we create a bucket. If I'll assign a value to that bucket while I am creating it, so that means we are doing initialization of bucket C. Initialization of C variable. We have initialized this bucket. Next thing is we will write this while condition over here. So in the while, we write this condition check. This condition is available over here. We write that particular condition over here. Then we have curly braces to define what all tasks are there that we need to do inside this particular while loop. After this, what we need to do at the end, we write the updation condition. So there were three components, right? Initialization. So we initialized the bucket C prior the while loop. After that, we used one condition, which is inside the round brackets or the circular brackets that you can see. Condition comes over here. The next thing is updation, which comes at the last of the while loop. Generally, we write it at the last. Still, that depends upon our logic, whatever we are trying to implement, whether that logic can be fulfilled by these three conditions if we write it in this particular order or not. So that is something which we'll need to think about. So rest other things are fine. We need to do our task over here. So see, let us move and let's see how we can print the numbers from 1 till 10. All right, so let us see how we can print numbers from 1 till 10. So I'll write that for int I equals to 1. So see, I need to print 10 numbers. So I need to print 1, 2, 3, 4, so on till 10. There are 10 numbers and it can be n numbers as well. But we need to do some task, and how many times that we need to do that particular task, that is equals to 10 times. So which is fine. So what I'll do, I'll write till the value of I, see, I started from 1. And I will take the value of I till it is less than equals to 10. So till the value of I is not equals to 10, we need to do some task. So I'll write till the time I is less than equals to 10. We need to do some task. So this is our condition check that we need to do some task for 10 number of times. And this updation is very important over here, right? So the value of I, once we have printed the value of 1, we go to the next value of I, which is 2. Then we go to the next value of I, which is 3. Then we go to the next value of I, which is 4. So every time the updation is happening by a value of 1. So I updated it by 1. So what is the task that we need to do over here? So these two forward slash, these are used to comment something in our programming language. So this is not something which is considered as the syntax of our program. This is if there is anything. These are the comments. This is very important if you are learning something, right? You must be coding along with me right now. So to write down each and everything while coding, you should use comments. So the thing that we need to do over here is we simply need to print I. So I have already told you that if we want to print something, we use this cout statement. Let's move towards the coding part and let's see how it works. So see, I'm going to create a bucket I with the value 1. This is called as initialization. The next thing that I'm going to do is while I is less than equals to 10, we need to do something, and I will write I equals to I plus 1. Simple. This thing is called as updation condition, and the condition which we have written inside the circular brackets of while, that is basically condition check. So the task that we want to do is we simply want to print the value of I. That's it. So let us build this particular program. So I'll press command B. You can press control shift B or control B, whatever is applicable in your machine. You can use that particular command. Now I'm going to run it. So I'll write dot slash. So see, I am in my current directory where the file which I have created, wherever I have created this file test.cpp. I went to that particular directory in my terminal. So your must be PowerShell. So you can go to that particular directory using cd command. So I came till this particular point using cd command. So now I'll write ls. So window users will write dir to see which all files are available. Because I am on system which is Mac, so I'll be using the command which is ls. You need to write dir. So if I'll press ls, so see there are two files, test.cpp and test. So I created one file, and when I build this file, when I press control command B, so this will build my file and it give me an executable file which I can run. Right. So what I'll do, I'll simply write dot test. See, this is printing all the numbers till 10. Now, if I'll ask you, now if I may ask you that, how can I ask or how can I convert this particular program to print all the numbers till the end point, not till 10. Right now, the program is fixed. It is going every time I'll run it, it is going to print all the numbers just till 10. If I want to print each and every number till n, what should I do in that case? To print all the numbers till n, you guys tell me, what should I do? बताओ जल्दी से क्या करना चाहिए to print all the numbers till end. What should be the changes that I need to make so that my program should print all the numbers till end? Take the value of n from the user. It's absolutely correct. So Rohan Mishra has given the correct answer. Ramonks Gaming have given the correct answer. Replace 10 by Avantika is also giving the correct answer. Nested looping is not the correct way to do it. See, right now, if I'll ask you that I want to print all the numbers till 20, so I'll update this value. Let the value of I start from 1 and go till 20. So what is going to happen now? It will print all the numbers from 1 till 20. If I want to print all the numbers till 30, so what I'll do, I'll just update this particular condition. I'll write I should be less than equals to 30 in our case. So it is printing all the numbers till 30. I want to print all the numbers till n. So what should I do? I should take one input from the user, which is int n, and I'll simply take this condition till n. So now what is going to happen? This value of n will be provided to us by the user, and user, whatever the value of n is, it is going to print all the numbers till n. So let's see 10, this is printing till 10, 20, it's printing till 20, 30, it's printing till 30, 100, it's printing all the numbers till 100. So that is how we can print all the numbers till n. हिंदी अरे बहुत मुश्किल सी चीज है, आधे लोग हिंदी आधे लोग इंग्लिश, so you can understand. Happy birthday. I don't have my birthday today. चलो आगे चलते हैं. अब हम ना थोड़े क्वेश्चंस करेंगे. See, we'll be moving towards some good questions. First of all, let us see this particular thing. So we have done this thing, right? We have done this, right? We did it in the previous class to print all the, to take input of PRT and calculate the simple interest, right? So we did that particular thing. So now we need to, so next thing that we need to do is we need to find the largest of three numbers. We have already run this thing. Now we need to check whether a given number is prime or not. Let's move on towards something which is interesting, right? जिसमें बाकी लोगों को मजा भी आएगा. So we need to check given number is prime or not. This is a very good question. Right? So how can I check whether a given number is prime or not? You guys tell me that how to check whether a given number n is a prime number. What is the condition for a number to be a prime number? What are the conditions that we need to remember if I am trying to check whether a number is prime or not? Space between output, we have to put something. So Navneet have asked one question, that is to print space. So see, space is a single character. If I am using a single character, then I'll use a single quote. If I want to print multiple characters, I'll use a string. That is double quotes. So if I want to print my name, so I'll just write it over here. So if I want to print my name, so what I'll do, I'll write C out Kartik Mathur, because there are multiple characters involved. This is a string. So in double quotes, we write multiple characters. If I want to print a single character, we use a single quote. That's it. इसमें और कुछ नहीं. So yeah, so number must be divisible by 1 and itself only. So yeah, absolutely correct. You guys are absolutely correct. So number can only, or number should only get divided, or it should only be divisible by 1 and itself. It should not get divided by any other number, right? So see, if I'll talk about 7, 7 is divisible by 1, 7 is divisible by 7, but there are other numbers as well in this range. So that would be, if I'll say that this number is n, the number that I was trying to check is n. So there are other numbers as well in between, that is from 2 till n minus 1. So in this case, n minus 1 will be equals to 6. So the number n should not get divided. N should not get divided by any number in range 2 till n minus 1. So I'll replace the n with a capital N. See, these are square brackets. When I write these square brackets, so they denote that we are including this particular number. So when we write it this way for 7, if the value of n is equals to 7, so number should not get divided by any of the number from 2 till 6. Right, this is the condition to check whether a given number is prime or not. So see, if we are checking for 7, so it's not divisible by 2, it's not divisible by 3, it's not divisible by 4, it's not divisible by 5, it's not divisible by 6, then we say that this is not a prime number. Whereas if I'll take 15, so 15, 2, 3, 4, and so on till I'll go till 14, because this will be the n minus 1 value in this case if n is equals to 15. So see, I will start my value of I from 2. I will check if n modulus I is equals to 0. Modulus means remainder. If the value of n gets divided by any of the I in range 2 till n minus 1. So the value of I will go from 2 till n minus 1. So it will go from 2 to 3 to 4 and so on till n minus 1. So I will start one bucket I, or one iterator I from 2, and I'll check whether this n, in this case the value of n is equals to 15, so this will be equals to 14. So whether n is divisible by 2 or not. So if it's not divisible by 2, I'll check for the another I. So right now you can see that 15 is divisible by 3, right? It is going to give me a remainder of 0. So that means this I divides the number n. That means it cannot be a prime number. This was the condition that we need to make sure is true. Whereas in this case, what will happen? See, I will start from the value 2. I will check whether the value n, in this case, n is equals to 7. Is it divisible by 2? No. Then I'll update the value of I to the next number. So I will become 3. Whether 7 is divisible by 3 or not? No. So I'll take I to the next number. That is 4. Is n divisible by I now? No. So I will take the value of I to 5. So that 7, do 7 divide 5? No. So I'll take the value of I to 6. So now, is n divisible by 6? No. This is also, 7 is also not divisible by 6. So the value of I will get updated and it will become equals to 7. So we started I from 2. And went till n minus 1. If n modulus I for any I between range 2 till n minus 1, if this become equals to 0, I can say not prime. If a number n gets divided by any number in the range, it's not a prime number. Whereas if the value of I become equals to n, I becomes n, then it means prime number, right? So this is how we can check for a prime number whether the number is prime or not. So let us see how we are going to evaluate this, or how we can write the coding part for this. Check prime. मतलब घड़ी में 7 to 9:41, वो मैं दूसरी कंट्री में हूँ ना, तो उस वजह से। ठीक है, तो चलो, let us see how it is going to work. See, first of all, we need to take one number n from the user, n, to check which is prime, to check prime or not. We need to check whether this given number n is a prime number or not. The next thing that we need to do, what is the next thing? We need to start one iterator I from 2, and it will go till n minus 1. I is less than equals to n minus 1. And I will write I equals to I plus 1. So we have one loop that starts from 2, in which iterator starts from 2, and it goes till n minus 1. This was the major thing that we were doing over here, or that we were trying to do over here. So this was the thing, right? Start the value of I from 2 and take it till n minus 1. If n gets divided by any of the I, that means it's not a prime number. This was the thing that we have figured out, because in this case, see, we saw that 15 is not divisible by 2, so we took I to the next step, which is I became equals to 3. But now 15 is divisible by 3. You guys tell me, should I check for these remaining numbers whether 15 gets divided by these numbers, or should I stop my program right at this particular point? Should I go and check whether the number 15 is prime or not by dividing it with the remaining numbers or not? Tell whether we should do this particular task or not by still taking my iterator I to the remaining of the numbers in the range 2 till n minus 1, even though I have seen that n is getting divided by 3. Yeah, so no need to check further, right? So how to stop our program? We have seen this particular thing, that what I'm trying to do over here is, if the n modulus I become equals to 0, this means that n is getting divided by I, thus not a prime number. Thus n is not a prime number. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to print not a prime number. I'll print this particular thing, and after I have printed this thing, I will simply exit from the program, because I know that the number is not a prime number. So I'll simply stop the execution of the program, and let's end the program over here. So where I would know that number is a prime number. So see, we have written over here, if the value of I reaches till n, that means the number is a prime number. So we have a loop. So it goes till less than n minus 1. I is equals to I plus 1. This is the loop that we have written. So what is happening over here, that we are simply starting from I equals to 1, and the value of I gets updated every time. So when would we exit this particular while loop? We will exit this while loop when I becomes equals to n. Only then this condition will fail. This condition should fail. Then only we can exit the while loop. So the value of I, if it become equals to n, that means we will fail this condition because n is not less than equals to n minus 1. This condition is going to fail if I become equals to n. So if we exit this loop, here I can print, here I can print prime. That number is a prime number. This was the simple case that we just saw, because when we start the value of I from 2, if it reaches till 7, that means the number 7, or in this case the value of n did not get divided by any of the number in the range 2 till n minus 1. So what I'm going to do over here, so I'll simply write cout prime number, and we will simply exit the program now. Right, yeah. So return 0 in main. Return 0 inside main means exit. So let us see whether this is going to work exactly the same way as we want it to or not. So we are going to write check prime. So I'll check for 7. So this is a prime number. I'll check for 11. This is a prime number. I'll check for 97. This is a prime number. I'll check for 10. Not a prime number. 15. Not a prime number. 20. Not a prime number. So this is giving us the correct answer. So this is how we can check whether a given number n is a prime number or not. Greater values of n, the program will become slow to execute. Let's leave that part right now. Let's not go into the that much detail right now, because we have just started with the programming. We will come to that particular part, but that's something which we will do after a lot of classes which we have planned. Only then we can go to that part. Right now it's not the correct time to do that thing. Yeah. Manya, we will discuss homework questions. We will have separate classes for that. Don't worry. I'll make sure that whatever the homework is given, we should be solving those doubts as well while taking doubt classes. So I'll plan doubt classes as well. Right now we'll be doing some new questions which will be based on loops. All right. So that's it for this particular question. There's nothing as such which is complicated in this particular problem. So this is how you can check whether a given number n is a prime or not. So no, you should not give 0. ठीक है, तो चलो आगे चलते हैं. All right. So this is the code that we have written. I'm adding this on GitHub. You can get it from the GitHub. Right. All right. So, okay. So let's move ahead and let's see some pattern questions that we can solve now, because these were simple looping questions that we have just saw. Now let's move on towards some pattern questions. See, to solve pattern questions, the most important thing which is there is we need to understand that how the row and columns works. There are two things which are present over here in a pattern. So let's say we need to print this pattern. Print pattern, which is this. First of all, let us print this pattern. So user will be giving me the value of n, which is equals to 4, and the pattern should be this. If user gives me the value of n, which is equals to 5, so in that case, pattern will become this. So this is a star pattern, right? So now you need to understand one thing, that there are two directions through which I can iterate to create this particular pattern. So consider this as a grid, right? This is a grid. So you already know about something which is called as rows. So how many rows are there? In this case, there this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, this is the fourth row. In this case, one, two, three, four, five. So whatever the value of n is, we need to print that many rows. So see, row value starts from 1 and the row value goes till n. So in this case, value of n is nothing but 4 because user have given us the value of n equals to 4. In this case, the value of row starts from 1 and it goes till 5 or n, because in this case, the value of n is equals to 5. The first thing that you need to do is figure out a general expression, a general task or expression that is happening in all the rows, that is happening in a row. That particular expression, whatever you are going to figure out, it should be applicable to each and every row. So you guys tell me, what is the thing that you can see over here? What is the thing that you can predict? What is happening in every row? What is happening? मेरी ऐसी कौन सी रिक्वेस्ट करी थी तुमने जो मैंने अनदेखा नहीं करा मैंने? बताओ कौन सी ऐसी रिक्वेस्ट थी अनदेखा हो गई? So Rudransh Tyagi has given the correct answer. और बाकी लोग, what about others? What can you see that is happening in each and every row? Number of stars in every row is equals to the row number I am on. So you can see that in this I am on third row, so there are 3 stars. In this I am on the fifth row, so there are 5 stars. In this I am on the fourth row, so there are 4 stars. In this I am on the second row, so there are 2 stars. This is the thing that we need to figure out. Every row, print row times stars in every row. This is what we have figured out. We need to print row times stars. So whatever row I am on currently, that many stars needs to be printed. You can watch it again, Varun. अभी तो हम आगे बढ़ चुके हैं, so you can watch it again. Don't worry. नहीं होगा तो we'll see. I'll see what I can do for you. Don't worry. Let's focus on this question. अभी इस question पे focus करो and बाकी की चीजें बाद में. So this is fine. This is the thing that you need to figure out in all the pattern questions. Most important thing is this particular thing only. Now we know that obviously if I want to go to a particular row, so we need a loop to go to every row. There are multiple rows, right? How many rows do we need to print? We need to print n rows. So what I'll do, I'll write a loop and the value of row will start from 1 and it will go all the way till n. So we will have a loop, which is fine. And inside every row, we need to do some task. What is that task that we have to do inside every row? The task is this, which we have just seen, that print row times stars. Whatever the row you are currently standing on, you need to print that many stars. So if I want to do a particular task for row times, that means I need a loop. So I need a loop. So I will say that the loop will start from column. So I'm iterating over columns now, right? We need to iterate over columns now. So I'll take a loop of column. Column should start from 1. We need to do some task row times. So I will start my counting from 1 and I will go till row. So this is the second loop. To do row times task. Whatever the task may be, we need to do that task row number of times. That is fine. ठीक है. So we have figured this thing out. The next thing is, what is the task that we need to do? The task is to print stars, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply write print the star, because star is a single character, so we'll write it in a single quote. So that is fine. This was the entire thing that we need to figure out. See, the column starts from 1 and it goes till 1. That means we are going to do a task for one time over here. In the second row, the value of column starts from 1 and it goes till 2. That means we are going to do the task for 2 times. In third row, the value of column will start from 1 and it will go till 3. We are going to do a task for 3 number of times. So every row contains some task and we need to do it row times. So do some task row times. So 1, 2, 3. We are going to count till row. So that is how we can do some task row number of times. Simple. Let us move towards the coding part now. Right. So the first thing is I'll write one iterator for row. So I'll take one bucket n. I'll take input of this bucket n. So we initialize the bucket of row with 1. So I'll write while row is less than equals to n. We need to do something and row will be getting updated by 1. We need to write a loop for row. And you can see the loop that we have written over here. Row starts from 1 and it goes till n. Why? Because there are n rows that we need to print. There are n rows that we need to print. So we have a loop of row from 1 till n. The second task that we need to do, we need to start iteration over columns. So the column will start from 1 and it will go till the row. So the second thing that we need to do, we need to have one iterator for column. So column starts from 1 and it will go till row. So I can write while column is less than equals to row. I'll write column gets updated by +1. This is the place where we need to do a particular task for this column, for this particular row and whatever column I'm currently standing on. So if I'm, let's say, standing on, if I'll start from the first row and I'm on its first column, so we simply need to print a star. This was the task that we figured out. So I'll print it. This is the place where we'll do the task. Now you don't have to mug up anything. It's quite simple. Just you need to visually see that what is happening inside a pattern. Once you know that this is the task that is happening inside a pattern, we can simply write it using loops. All right. See, the next thing over here that we can see is whenever the task for a one row is completed, we need to go to the next row. Whenever the task for this is completed, we need to go to the next row. If we complete the task for this, we go to the next row. So how to go to the next line? To go to the next line, we print \n or &l. After we have done the task for this first row, we print &l or \n. After we have done the task for the second row, print &l or \n. So go to the next line. Go to next line. So to do that, we can simply write print \n or we can print &l. Anything would work. So let us see whether this works the way we expected or not. So see pattern star. So if I'll give the value 4, so this is giving me the correct pattern. If I'll give it 5, this is giving me the correct pattern. 6, this is giving me the correct pattern. For 8, this is giving me the correct pattern. The expression that you need to figure out, the expression should be a general expression. General task is what we need to figure out. Once you figure that thing out, it's just a matter of writing code. So see, what have we done in this particular question is there was one while loop. Inside this while loop, we have written one more loop. So this particular thing is called as nested loops. So we have done 2-level nesting. Why? Because inside a single loop, we have another loop. So this is basically two level nesting. We can do nesting up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, any level that you want. We can do nesting of the loops at any level as you want. Yeah, so पैटर्न वाली चीजें सबको क्लियर है? Discord link or Telegram. We have created one account for Telegram as well. If you want to ask your queries, मतलब जो normal queries होती है, you can join Telegram. So Telegram link is https t.me/cbcpp. This is the Telegram link. Discord link you can find it in the description of this particular video. So आपको description में Discord का link मिल जाएगा, आप वहां से देख सकते हो. एक्सप्लेन अगेन इन हिंदी, ये मतलब ये बहुत सही चीज है. पहले एक बार इंग्लिश में बताओ, अब एक बार चलो अब हमारे लिए हिंदी में बता दो. ठीक है, तो चलो. All right, I'll just explain it again. So we have this pattern. There are n value is equals to 4 in this case. So we need to print total 4 rows. So this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row, this is the fourth row. So the value of n denotes that how many rows we need to print. So the value of row will start from 1. अच्छा, हिंदी में ओके, चलो हिंदी में कर लेते हैं. तो रो की वैल्यू, जिनको इंग्लिश में मैंने बता दिया तो ठीक है, अब हिंदी में जाने दो मुझे. तो जिन्होंने रो की वैल्यू 1 से स्टार्ट करी, अब वो n तक जाएंगे, है ना. रो की वैल्यू 1 से स्टार्ट होती है और वो n तक जाएगी. ठीक है, तो अब हर रो के अंदर हमें कुछ काम करना है. तो हम जो रो के लिए काम कर रहे हैं वो काम हमारा जनरलाइज काम होना चाहिए. जनरल एक्सप्रेशन निकालना है हमें, हर रो में क्या काम करना है फॉर एवरी रो. हर एक पे एप्लीकेबल होना चाहिए. तो देख सकते हो, पहली रो में 1 स्टार, दूसरी रो में 2 स्टार, तीसरी रो में 3 स्टार, चौथी रो में 4 स्टार्स. सो वी नीड टू प्रिंट हर एक रो के लिए, दूसरी रो पे 2, तीसरी रो पे 3, चौथी रो पे 4. तो अगर मैं किसी रो पर हूं तो हमें रो टाइम्स स्टार्स प्रिंट करने हैं. ठीक है, तो रो टाइम्स हमें स्टार्स प्रिंट करने हैं. अब रो टाइम स्टार प्रिंट करना है, ये मुझे समझ आ गया यहां से. अब देखो, हर रो पर जाना जरूरी है. पहले तो पहली रो से स्टार्ट करेंगे, तो एक लूप लगाया जो कि रो 1 से स्टार्ट होगी और कहां तक जाएगी, n तक. टोटल मेरे को n रोज प्रिंट करनी है. अब रो पे मैं गया, पहली रो पे गया, दूसरी रो पे गया, तीसरी रो पे गया, nth रो पे गया. तो हर रो के लिए मुझे कुछ टास्क करना है. क्या काम करना है? रो टाइम्स स्टार्स प्रिंट करने हैं. तो रो टाइम्स कुछ मतलब रो टाइम्स मतलब रो से गुणा कर दो तो उतनी बार कुछ काम हो रहा है. तो पूरी हिंदी पे चलते हैं. अब होगा क्या इसके अंदर कि हमारे को रो टाइम्स काम करना, तो एक लूप लगेगा. तो देखो, ये मैं एक आइटरेटर दूसरा ले सकता हूँ ना, कॉलम का आइटरेटर ले लूं. कॉलम 1 से चलेगा और हमारा कॉलम रो तक जाएगा. यहाँ पे देखो, कॉलम 1 से स्टार्ट होगा एंड कॉलम कहां तक जाएगा, 2 तक. यहाँ पर कॉलम कहां से स्टार्ट होगा, 1 से. कॉलम कहां तक जाएगा, 3 तक. यहाँ पे कॉलम कहां से स्टार्ट होगा, 1 से. और कॉलम कहां तक जाएगा, 4 तक. तो दैट मीन्स रो तक जा रहे हैं, है ना. कॉलम इज गोइंग टिल रो. सो हम यहाँ पे एक लूप लगाएंगे, जो कॉलम है वो 1 से स्टार्ट करो और रो तक ले जाओ. अब हर पर्टिकुलर कॉलम पे काम क्या करना है, स्टार प्रिंट करना है. स्टार एक कैरेक्टर होता है, तो कैरेक्टर को हम कैसे प्रिंट कर सकते हैं, सिंगल कोट्स के अंदर स्टार. ठीक है, सो दिस इज हाउ वी कैन प्रिंट इट. सो मैंने यही लूप लगाया है. रो को 1 से स्टार्ट करा, रो को n तक ले गए. कॉलम को 1 से स्टार्ट करा, कॉलम को रो तक ले गए. एंड व्हाट वी डिड ओवर हियर वाज टू प्रिंट स्टार्स. सो दैट्स इट. वंस वी डू द वर्क फॉर दिस, बट एक बार मतलब हिंदी में एक बार जब हम इसके लिए काम कर देते हैं, एक रो के लिए, है ना, एक रो के लिए जब मैं काम कर देता हूँ तो मुझे अगली रेखा पर जाना है, ठीक है, तो आई नीड टू गो टू द नेक्स्ट रेखा। तो नेक्स्ट रेखा पर जाने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं, \n प्रिंट करते हैं। हाँ हाँ, संस्कृत भी सीख के आऊंगा, डोंट वरी, कल से संस्कृत में ही बोलेंगे। तो नेक्स्ट नेक्स्ट लाइन पे जाने के लिए, नेक्स्ट लाइन पे जाने के लिए क्या करेंगे, \n प्रिंट कर देंगे। तो यहाँ पर \n, डबल कोट्स में भी लिख दोगे तो भी चलेगा, सिंगल कोट्स में जो लिखा जा सकता है वो डबल कोट्स में भी लिख सकते हैं, चलेगा चलेगा, ये डबल कोट्स में लिखेंगे चलेगा, फाइन। बट सिंगल कैरेक्टर है तो सिंगल कोट्स में लिखना इज द सिंटैक्स, और कुछ ऐसा अलग नहीं होता, तो आप ऐसे कर सकते हैं। अब चलो नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन की तरफ चलते हैं, जो हमारा मेन क्वेश्चन था, मेरे को नंबर प्रिंट करने हैं, तो मुझे अब लग रहा है वो समझ आ गया होगा। नाउ वी नीड टू प्रिंट नंबर पैटर्न। सो नंबर पैटर्न सेज इट्स 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. This pattern is for value n is equals to 4. Can you see the similarities between these two patterns? Are you able to see the similarity between these two patterns? So this is first, this is second, this is third row, this is fourth row. What is the similarity? अरे व्हाट्सएप क्यों, घर पे आ जाओ, एड्रेस दे देते हैं। हाँ, so what is the similarity between these? Star pattern, we printed it like this. Can you see some similarity between these two patterns? Yes, obviously you should be able to see some similarities between these two things. What is it? Instead of stars, we need to print numbers. That's it. So we need to print these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Right? We need to print some numbers. So see, the number starts from 1. So instead of stars, we need to, I'll just create one more number pattern. So instead of stars, you guys are telling me that we need to print a number. So number starts from, so the number starts from the value 1. Right? And every time I print a number, the next number is incremented by 1. So it goes like a normal counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Every time I print a number, we need to update that number by 1. So number is initialized to 1 only once. Only once we assign value 1 to number. Right? Only once we do it. And we have done this particular thing. So we need to assign number only once, the value. So I'll take one number and the value of number will be equal to 1. So for the first time, I'll assign value 1 to this number. And every time I print this number, the number should be updated by 1. So number gets updated by 1. Done. That's it. This is the thing that we figured out. All the things are same, except for stars, we are printing some numbers. So I replace the stars. So this is the place where we were printing stars. So I replace this by a number. So number is initialized to value 1 only once. So if I am trying to initialize it to 1 only for a one time, so I will initialize it outside of any loop, because loop repeats itself. If I'll take value of 1 inside the loop, so it will get assigned value 1 every time the loop will rerun itself. I don't want that to happen. So what I did, I initialized it outside this while loop. The next thing is I printed this number. So once I printed this number 1, so we have one bucket number that gets printed. So once I printed this bucket 1, I need to update it to 2 because next time the number is going to, we are going to print the number, we need to print 2. Once we print 2, we update it to 3. Next time the number will get printed will be equals to 3. And so on, it will print 4, 5, 6 because this is the pattern that was printed earlier. Instead of stars, we have simply printed numbers. So that's it. Right, so let's build this program and let's see whether it gives us the correct result or not. Working fine. For 5 also it's working fine. For 3 also it's working fine. For different value of n, it is giving me the different output. So that's fine. So is it clear to all? तुम तो मेरे को धर्म संकट में डाल देते हो, आधे हिंदी आधे इंग्लिश. अच्छा, कितने लोग हिंदी के फेवर में हैं? अच्छा, कितने लोग इंग्लिश के फेवर में हैं? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू डोंट नो हिंदी? मतलब कितनों को हिंदी ही नहीं आती यहाँ पे? संस्कृत तो नहीं. मधुर, आप डू वन थिंग, नंबर तो नहीं, डू वन थिंग. आई एम गिविंग यू माय ईमेल आईडी. you can connect with me on discord पे you can text me personally if needed. I'll see what we can do to talk, don't worry. अरे हिंदी हिंदी कितनों को नहीं आती हिंदी? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर नॉट कंफर्टेबल विद हिंदी एट ऑल? मतलब हिंदी ऐसी लैंग्वेज है जैसे मेरे लिए, मतलब बाकी की. इंग्लिश इज बैटर, तो मतलब तुमने इंग्लिश इज बैटर बोल के ना भगवान सिंह, मतलब अच्छा, ओके, आई विल सी. मधुर, प्लीज सेंड इट अगेन. हो सकता है आई हैव स्किप्ड इट, सो प्लीज सेंड इट अगेन. सॉरी फॉर स्किपिंग योर मैसेज. सब चलेगा, ठीक है. तो थोड़ी मिक्स ऑडियंस है, तो देखो जिन्हें हिंदी आती है वो मतलब इंग्लिश तो थोड़ी बहुत समझ ही सकते हैं. या all right, let's see and let's move forward. So next thing is, let's say we are given, we have to find the maximum value out of n integers. हाँ, हिंदी मातृभाषा है, ठीक है, but all right. So find maximum value out of n numbers. So what is going to happen? The value of n, user is going to give me some value of n. That many numbers he is going to provide me. So let's say the value of n is 5. So he's going to give me 5 numbers. So अब वो हमें 5 number देगा. All right. So the 5 numbers that he is giving us is, let's assume something. The numbers are 1, 3, 5, -1, -2. तो जो 5 नंबर यूजर ने दिए हैं वो 1, 3, 5, -1, -2. ठीक है, -2 की जगह हम कर देते हैं 0. ठीक है. So these are the numbers which user have provided us. All right. So the next thing is, what I'll do, I'll take one bucket and I'll name it that this stores the maximum value. See, the maximum value that I need to find is amongst these n numbers. So here the value of n is equals to 5. So these are the 5 numbers which user have given to us. So we will take the input of each and every number one by one. Simple. So first of all, user is going to give me this number 1. I need to initialize this maximum bucket with some value so that this should not give me a wrong answer. So what should be the value inside this maximum bucket? Batao mujhe. What should be the maximum value initially so that my answer should always come correct. It should not give me a wrong answer. Samarth has given the correct answer. No, no, we are not going to sorting. Akash, I am sitting at that place only. मतलब तुम्हें अगर लग रहा है मैं वहां नहीं हूं तो तुम्हें गलत लग रहा है. ठीक है. Assume anyone as maximum and then check relative. Yeah, first number only. We can take the first number only as the maximum value. But if I don't want to do that, so initially I'm going to take minus infinity, because any number that user is going to give me will be greater than this minus infinity. So my answer will never be wrong. So why I'm saying this? Let us say if I'll assume that maximum is 0. The numbers that user gave me, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. These are the 5 numbers which user provides. So maximum is not smaller. Maximum is not smaller than any of these. So maximum bucket value will not get updated, and it will give me a wrong answer. What I'm going to do, I'm going to check if maximum value that I have currently is less than the number which user have provided. So that if the number that user have provided is greater than the maximum value, I will update the maximum with number. So see, the value that user have provided is -1. It's not greater than 0, so I'll not update it. Next number is -2. This is also not greater than 0, so I'll not update it. Next is -3, no updation. Next is -4, no updation. Same for -5. So this thing is going to give me a wrong answer. What should I do in this case? I should take minus infinity over here. Right, so now if user gives -1, तो हाँ भाई इससे तो बड़ा ही होगा जो भी हो. The number that I'll get will be greater than minus infinity for sure. So I'll update my answer to -1. The next number is -2. So the next number the user have provided me is the -2. So yeah, so this is not greater than -1. So I'll skip. So finally, once I have iterated through all the numbers, this bucket will contain the value which have the maximum value. So I'll simply print it. So what I need to do, I need to take input of this n. कार्तिक भैया जिंदाबाद, मतलब मेरे जिंदाबाद के नारे लगा रहे हो तुम. चलो ठीक है, तुम लोग भी जिंदाबाद. The next thing is we need to run a loop for n times and we need to take input. Right, we need to take input n times. So I'll run a loop that will start from 1 and it will go till n. What is the thing that I need to do? I need to take input of this number from the user. So how to take input of this particular number? I will take input using scene command. That's the one thing. That's the only way through which we can take input from a user. So I'll have one maximum bucket and I'll initialize it with the minus infinity. I'll tell you what minus infinity is when we are learning programming, how we can write minus infinity. We will see it in detail right now. So let us move forward. All right. Another way to do it is, let's see the another way. Another way to do this particular thing is, let's assume that this is the maximum number. Let's assume first is maximum. I can do that. So the value of n that user is going to give me is 5. So 1, 3, 4, -1, 0. These are the numbers which user is going to give me input. So let us see what I can do. I can take one value of n. So these many numbers user is going to give me. So I'll say that take input of the first number here itself. So the first number is 1. So I'll initialize the maximum bucket with the number. Right, so maximum bucket contains the first value, which is 1. Now there are n minus 1. numbers which are remaining. So we need to take input of these n minus 1 numbers. So how can I do that? So I can write a loop. So the number iterator I will start from 1 and it will go till n minus 1. N minus 1 times we need to do some task. What is the task that we need to do for n minus 1 times? We need to take input of a number. The next number would be 3. So I'll see if the number that user have provided, it is greater than maximum. So what is the thing that we need to do? So I'll simply update my maximum to the number. So maximum will get updated to 3 because 3 is greater than the number maximum value right now that I have, which is fine. So this loop is going to run again. For n minus 1 time, I'm going to do this task. Next number is 4. Is 4 greater than maximum? Yes. So update maximum. I'll run the loop again. I'll take another number. So next number is minus 1. Is minus 1 greater than the maximum? No. So I'll ignore. Don't do anything. Go above. Take another number. Next number is 0. Is 0 greater than the maximum? No. So simply ignore it. Once I am outside this loop, print maximum. Right? This is how we can simply do it. ठीक है, चलो अब हम क्या करते हैं, n लेते हैं, सीन करते हैं n को. We took input of this bucket n. The next thing is we take one number and we will take this number as the as input. I'll write int maximum is equals to this number. These were the initial steps that we need to do. Take input of n, take input of number, assign the maximum to this particular number itself. Then what we need to do, we need to run a loop for n minus 1 times. And write I equals to I plus 1. So I'll take one number as the input over here. So I'm writing the same code which we have written over here. Take input of the number, compare the number with the maximum. So I'll take input of a number. If number is greater than maximum, what I need to do? Maximum should become equals to number. Right? So that's it. Over here, simply when I'll exit this loop, I'll print the maximum value. So this is simply how we can do it. Okay. So let's run it. So we'll take 5 numbers as the input: 1, 3, 4, minus 1, 0. So this is giving us the answer, which is 4. So it's correct. Right? If I'll say, I'll give 4 numbers: 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is giving us the correct answer. 4 numbers: minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. So minus 1 is the largest. So this is giving us again the correct answer. So I hope that these questions are clear to all of you. जो अभी हमने करे सबको क्लियर है क्वेश्चंस जो आज हमने करे? हिंदी में एक बारी, मतलब तुम लोग मेरी मेहनत डबल करवा रहे हो. इंग्लिश में मतलब ऐसी क्या दिक्कत होती है तो मुझे समझ नहीं आता. Any issue in this particular question now? चलो एक बार हिंदी में जल्दी से एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूं. n की वैल्यू यूजर ने 5 दी. 5 नंबर्स हैं 1, 3, 4, -1, 0. ठीक है. अब हम क्या करेंगे, हमारे पास जो 5 नंबर्स हैं उसके बाद ये 5 नंबर्स यूजर ने इनपुट करे. मैंने एक मैक्सिमम बकेट की वैल्यू अज्यूम कर ली कि इसके अंदर मैं अपना आंसर स्टोर करूंगा. मैंने जो पहला नंबर था वो मैक्सिमम मान लिया कि ये सबसे बड़ा नंबर है. तो मैंने सबसे पहले n की वैल्यू को इनपुट करा. फिर मैं एक नंबर यूजर से इनपुट लेता हूं. जब मैंने एक नंबर यूजर से इनपुट ले लिया वो मैं मैक्सिमम के अंदर स्टोर कर दूंगा. तो मैक्सिमम के अंदर आई विल स्टोर द वैल्यू ऑफ नंबर. तो सबसे पहला नंबर मैंने मान लिया सबसे बड़ा है क्योंकि इन सब में मैक्सिमम चाहिए ना. मैक्सिमम की इनिशियल वैल्यू क्या रखूं? 0 नहीं, 100 नहीं, -100 नहीं. तो मैंने मान लिया पहला नंबर ही सबसे बड़ा होगा. हो सकता है पहला नंबर सबसे बड़ा हो, तो पहले नंबर को मान लिया सबसे बड़ा. अब बाकी के n-1 नंबर्स को मैं इनपुट लूंगा यूजर से, तो लूप लगाया और 1 से लेके n-1 तक लूप चलाया, एक एक करके सारे नंबर्स इनपुट लेते जाओ, तो मैं जो अगला नंबर होगा उसे इनपुट लूंगा। अब अगर जो नंबर आया है वो मेरा मैक्सिमम से बड़ा है ना, तो मैं क्या करूं, मैक्सिमम को अपडेट कर दो, क्योंकि नया नंबर जो आया है वो भी मैक्सिमम से बड़ा था, तो मैक्सिमम की वैल्यू को अपडेट कर दो। ऐसे ही जब हमारा पूरा लूप चल जाए, बाहर आके सिंपली मैक्सिमम को प्रिंट कर दो। पांचों को 5 कहते हैं, संस्कृत वालों को भी पता है, ठीक है, हाँ हाँ, 5 5 एक ही बात है। मतलब अब काउंटिंग तो इंग्लिश में आती होगी, वरना वो जो पैसे, मतलब अगर पैसे गिनने को बोला जाए तो पैसे नहीं गिन पाओगे फिर तो, मतलब। अरे मतलब ठीक है, किसी को अंडरस्टैंडिंग में हिंदी में बेटर लगता है किसी को, मतलब तो कोई बुराई थोड़ी है उसमें, हिंदी मातृभाषा है तो ठीक है। सो हिंदी इज और मदर टंग, सो दैट्स फाइन, तो दोनों सेंटेंसेस में इंग्लिश हिंदी दोनों में बोल दिया। माइनस इन्फिनिटी वाला मेथड आज थोड़ा सा लेट हो जाएगा, तो आज नहीं कर पाएंगे, आज के लिए हमारा यही है। तो अब तुम्हारे लिए कुछ होमवर्क है, तो देखते हैं सबसे पहले होमवर्क कौन करके देता है। आई एम अवेलेबल ऑन डिस्कॉर्ड, आई एम अवेलेबल ऑन टेलीग्राम, यू कैन आस्क योर क्वेरीज। मतलब पहले वन थिंग दैट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, एक चीज जो सब लोगों को समझनी चाहिए, इट इज दैट यू शुड नॉट बी अशेम्ड इन आस्किंग अ डाउट। आप लोगों को शर्म नहीं आनी चाहिए डाउट पूछने में सबके सामने। तो कोई मतलब ऐसा ना, सब किसी को सारी चीजें नहीं आती होती हैं, इवन मैं भी यहाँ पे हूँ, तो ऐसा नहीं है मुझे सब कुछ आता है। देर आर मेनी थिंग्स जो मेरे को नहीं आती, एंड आई स्टिल कीप ऑन लर्निंग दैम, सो दैट्स इट, जो बहुत जरूरी चीज है। तो आपको चीजें सीखते रहने पड़ती है, इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर एवरी वन टू नो एवरीथिंग, ठीक है। हाँ, तो हिंदी में अब तो मतलब सारे मैंने रिपीट हिंदी में भी करे हैं। तो चलो अब थोड़े तुम्हारे लिए होमवर्क है, ये प्रिंट ऑल प्राइम नंबर्स बिटवीन 2 टू n, सारे प्राइम नंबर्स प्रिंट करने हैं 2 से लेके n तक। रीड n एंड प्रिंट द बिलो पैटर्न, अब ये नीचे वाला पैटर्न प्रिंट करना है। सो ये वाले क्वेश्चंस आप लोगों का होमवर्क है, असाइनमेंट अलग मिल जाएगा। ये वाले क्वेश्चंस हम अगली क्लास में डिस्कस करेंगे, प्रिंट ऑल प्राइम्स एंड 2 से लेके n तक नंबर्स प्रिंट करना, हम ये वाले करेंगे, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट में ऐसे क्वेश्चंस होंगे, एंड हम एक अच्छा पैटर्न का क्वेश्चन भी करेंगे जिसमें हमें काफी ज्यादा मतलब टाइम लगेगा, और बहुत अच्छा पैटर्न होगा। तो तुम्हारे मतलब दिवाली वगैरह आ रही है, तो वी विल प्रिंट गणेशा पैटर्न, तो कुछ स्वास्तिक बनाया होगा ना, ठीक है, स्वास्तिक तो सबने ही बनाया होगा। ऑलराइट, सो ये ऐसा हम पैटर्न वगैरह के क्वेश्चंस भी करेंगे थोड़े बहुत, तो ठीक है। सो ट्राई टू डू दीज क्वेश्चंस एंड यू कैन शेयर योर कोड ऑन डिस्कॉर्ड, आई विल टेल यू हाउ टू शेयर कोड। सो कोड शेयर करने का वे क्या है वो देख लो, गो टू cb.lk/ide, इस पे जाओ। वंस यू आर हेयर, what I'll do, let's say मैंने कुछ कोड लिखा, I wrote some code and I don't know what is the mistake in it. So what I'll do, I'll simply go over here, I'll copy paste this code. So let's say I copy pasted this code over here. So now there was some mistake that I don't know. Let's say I did not declare the variable n, but if I'll try to run it, so this is going to give me an error that n is not defined, right? So n was not declared in this scope. So now I want to ask my doubt on this question. What I'll do, ध्यान से देखो, what you need to do, go to file, click on save. Once you have saved it, you will get this URL. You need to share this URL. जो भी आप कोड कर रहे हो, तो अब जैसे हमारा हैकर ब्लॉक्स का कॉन्टेस्ट चल रहा है, तो उस कॉन्टेस्ट के अंदर आई एम एडिंग प्रॉब्लम्स, राइट? तो दिस इज द कॉन्टेस्ट इन विच you solve problems. So there are many problems, so please note this contest. right? 1915. You should note down this link. This is where you can practice the questions. I have added 9 questions till now. So Bhagwan Singh, Garvit Bhardwaj, Rajat, Sharda, Naba, Lakshay, very good. All of you have completed all the questions. So this is the contest where you need to go and where you need to practice. Once you are over here, let's say आप ये वाली प्रॉब्लम कर रहे थे एंड इसमें आपको कुछ डाउट आया, so share this URL. So I'll go to Discord and I'll share this URL. Right. So I'll go to Discord. I'll share the link of the Discord as well. Don't worry. Right. So I'll go over here and I'll write question link. Is this whatever the question link is? So question link is this, and the solution that I have written, that link is this. So in this way, the person who is going to check your solution, जैसे मैंने डाल दिया. So if I want to check what is the mistake, so if I want to check what is the mistake that you have made, so I'll just go to the URL that you have pasted and I can check your code. So आप लोगों का code मेरे को यहाँ मिल जाएगा. I'll get that code which you have written. So you can see this is the same code which was present over here. So that's it. This is how you can basically share your, or this is how you can ask your doubt. I'll share the link to the Discord in the chat. Yeah, I'll share it. So this is the Discord link, and I'll share the Telegram link as well. CVCP. Yeah, I have shared it. So notes अभी as such तो need नहीं है आप लोगों को. You can, video आपके पास हमेशा ही रहेगी. So you can watch the video and you need to do these 2 questions. Study about break and continue statement so that you will be able to solve this question easily. Samarth Minocha, shout out to you. खुश, चलो shout out to Samarth. सारे क्वेश्चंस उसने आंसर करे हैं. इट्स अ गुड थिंग. तो चलो गाइज, आज मतलब बहुत मजा आया आप लोगों के साथ ये वाला सेशन में. आई होप आप लोगों को भी मजा आया होगा. सो अगर आप लोगों को एक्चुअल में सेशन अच्छा लगा तो लाइक करना, सब्सक्राइब करना एंड शेयर मत करना, अपने फ्रेंड्स को भी बताओ, बिकॉज मोटिवेशन बनी रहती है दैट मेनी पीपल आर ज्वाइनिंग इन द सेशन, दे आर विलिंग टू लर्न. सो मैं डिस्कॉर्ड पर भी काफी एक्टिव रहता हूँ. आई टॉक टू पीपल, आई टॉक टू स्टूडेंट्स. मैं उनकी क्वेरीज जितनी मैक्स टू मैक्स हो सकती है उतनी आंसर करने की कोशिश करता हूँ. देयर आर other tasks as well जो मेरे चल रहे होते हैं, तो still I try to take out time for you guys and to help you out with your queries, जो भी आपकी problems होती हैं. ठीक है, तो चलो that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. और सब में फैला दो कि मतलब हम ये ऐसी और प्रोग्रामिंग के सेशंस कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, so bye bye, take care. चलो, we'll meet in the next class.